Welcome to Conversations in Literature. My name is Eric Rogara, and on this episode, I was joined by poet, writer, and political psalmist Odhiambo Kaumah, who is the author of Let the Old Man Speak, and one of my co-authors in the anthology Broken Rhythm. When he is not preparing the next generation for excellence in the classroom as an educator, Odhiambo spends time shaping cultural, political, and literary narratives on top of writing poetry, short stories, and essays. Our conversation is in two parts. The first conversation delves into issues of culture, language, identity, and colonization. Enjoy the Odhiambo conversation, part 1, and do watch out for part 2, which will be published soon. Kaumah.
Eric.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, man.
And welcome back.
Asante. The last time I was here, I felt good. And
it was last year.
Last year?
Yes.
Oh, this thing is moving so fast. Looks like the other day.
It may have been October.
Come on.
Yes, last year.
Looks so recent to me.
Yes. And I'm glad you've come with your coffee.
I didn't have it last time.
I'm not sure, but I don't think you did.
Oh, yeah. Last time I didn't think I have it. I was from this professional environment. And then I came here straight away.
You know, I don't know. There are very few times I've seen you without the coffee.
Oh, yeah. And I like it. And there are several. Yes.
There's this one. There's the one, what do you call it? The cup, like the one.
The black one.
The one of Oginga Odinga, Tomboya.
Oh, yeah, the Tomboyas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kangol cup. No, Kangol is this one.
Yeah, Kangol is this.
What do you call that one?
What's the name? It's more famous with the Abuja and the Nigerians.
The Nigerians.
Yeah.
Nigerians.
Yeah.
Is that where it comes from?
Actually, they popularize it. It's not that it's entirely theirs, but they popularize it. Yeah, I think it was more of an adoption from the Islamic
culture.
Yeah.
I've been seeing people online. There was this wedding recently.
Yeah, actually.
Prince
Inda's wedding.
And people have been saying that.
Yeah, people are saying actually that
the culture. There is no Nigerian culture. There is no Luo culture.
Luo culture. It's Nigerian culture.
Is the Nigerian culture.
Yeah, but I don't think so. And even if it was so, Eric, we are undergoing a cultural revolution.
Mm-hmm.
I have not done a wedding myself. But what we've called Christian wedding actually white weddings. And the culture is not entirely Christian. The culture is West.
That's true.
So actually having young people today moving back home and picking cultures as close as West Africa. I mean, that's a plus. Next day, we would pick it from Uganda.
You know, that's an interesting...
And then we are home.
That's an interesting point because...
Yeah.
What did the people mean if they say that this is not Luo culture? Like... Does it mean that the only culture you can pick from is the Western culture? Because if it was a white wedding, they wouldn't be complaining.
They wouldn't even have noted. Yeah,
it wouldn't be trending if it was a white wedding.
Yeah, sure. This happened even last time. I remember the Bolo Bespoke guy who is, I think he's an amazing designer anyway. Let's give it to him. He's creative and he's really aggressive. He's changing the attire industry, especially for these special occasions. And when he did his wedding, actually, he also had almost a similar thing. And that is when the discussion started. And I think I weighed in. This one, I wasn't really keen on following. Remember, we had the Nairobi International Book Fair.
Yes,
and I didn't really follow up on that. So when I followed much about the Bolo's bespoke and the criticism on the choice of attire for those particular weddings, I mean, I even asked them, that okay, I'm a Luo and I'm proud about my culture.
That's true.
But I asked them, if somebody was to ask us today, who owns the most expensive Luo traditional attire and where is it stocked today? Who owns the traditional Luo shoe, akala? Or I mean, all these Luo,
attire,
tangible, traditional assets. They are not there. So we can't say for a fact that there's there's an established Luo cultural attire somewhere. Actually, the Luo is known only for his posh mentality, for his, anything that is expensive and is classic.
It is a lifestyle, not a culture.
It's a lifestyle, actually.
It is not a culture, it's a lifestyle.
It's
an idea.
It's apparel culture is actually a lifestyle. It's actually apparel lifestyle, not a culture.
Yeah.
Because we've undergone a lot of course, give it to, the truth is we did not evolve our traditional attires into its modern, like you remember the sisal, dresses and all these, and the animal skins. I think we did not evolve them using the current technology to really want to call this an evolution of Luo attire from the beginnings. Whatever we have now is actually more of an adoption of the Western culture, and all these attires. And I think, like I was saying earlier, us coming back to try coping what has been popularized in Nigeria, in Ghana, or in Uganda, in South Africa. It's a walk back home, and I think very soon, with the kind of technology and the kind of aggression we are getting in, all these questions, even these discussions are very important. Those critics actually bring up a point. I expect designers to go back and retrace these attires and actually evolve them using current technology. There is so much you can do with an animal skin right now. The technology is there. There's so much you can do with the.
Is it really about the animal skin, or maybe even the colors?
Yeah, it's actually also about the colors.
What colors did you? And is it whatever Nigerians? What we call the Nigerian attire, is it traditional Nigerian attire? Although we do know that the West had a lot of influence from the Arabs.
Yeah,
they had Islam there. They had the modern civilization earlier than us.
Yeah, than us. Yeah.
Because even when you read Things Fall Apart, it's pre-colonial, but they're talking about guns.
Yeah, sure.
In the book.
Yeah, sure.
Like the villagers, Okonko has a gun.
Yeah.
So they have never seen a white person, but they have guns.
Yeah.
As opposed to here, when the white person comes is when we even start learning about guns.
But of course, remember that is a whole history that is different from the history of the coast is completely different. And remember the first touch of civilization happened along the coast.
Kenyan coast,
the African coast generally. And I think you remember, especially the Western African civilization, especially with being in contact with the outside world, and through trade, remember the gold trade, the Accra, Ghana, and all that, gave them such I would say, an early exposure.
And I think it wasn't even like through the coast, because you remember when we talk about who was the richest man, it was Mansa Musa.
Yeah.
Like there were empires, very strong empires in that area, and they are inland, not at the coast.
Yeah.
And Mansa Musa is traveling to Egypt and going all the way to Mecca.
Yeah.
The university at Timbuktu in Mali.
Yeah, sure.
So the Muslim culture, the Islam culture, the same way with our Somali colleagues or friends around here, they also had the early access to the Arabic culture. And this dates back to around maybe they say they got Islam very early. Like, I don't know if it's even before the century, the first century ended. Yeah, so you can imagine all those years they had access to
this civilization.
These other different. I want to call it modern civilization because I don't want to say they had access to civilization. We did have civilization as well, but we were sort of hidden away. We isolated is the word.
And actually, I'm also conservative on the use of modern civilization because it looks like it came from somewhere else.
It did come from somewhere else. It's like global civilization. Let's call it that.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you say there are two global civilizations, there is the one which comes from the West and the one which comes from the East. Yeah. So the global civilization of the West through the religion of Christianity, the one from the East coming with Islam.
Yeah.
Which came, the ones in Africa, that is.
Yeah, and you know, now we are trying this thing to I mean, religious angles, that is Christianity and Islam. And remember, if you've read the Dragonfly Sea by Yvonne Awor, you realize when the Chinese were here, early enough via the coast in Pemba, and at the coast in Kenya. And their civilization actually also dates back way far, way beyond the Islamic culture or even the Christian culture. So I think generally we can say that, okay, the adoption of the Western culture was actually a factor of colonization, the colonial mentality. Otherwise, through trade and normal interactions, so many civilizations actually touch foot in Africa.
And then as a writer, you know, does it really, is this something you think about? Like, I need to be in touch with my cultural roots in the way I dress, in the way I think, maybe even in the way I write? Is that something you feel like you need to express your identity through how you dress or through how you look, how you write as a writer, actually, as an artist?
That is actually the central theme in my struggles in writing. Remember, I identify a lot with my traditions, and sometimes in my quest to really get to the root of my uncolonized sort of traditions, it's really hard, because I look at the kind of the traditions that I know from my father, from my grandfather. I had an interesting interaction with my dad, and he used to tell me that, of course, he was old, and he had seen this past before the colonial era, and he worked with these Wazunguls in Lake Victoria. He was a railway worker, and so he was close to them as a coal worker in these ships on Lake Victoria. And one interesting thing he told me, that is actually the one who brought Christianity back to his parents.
Your father?
Yeah.
He brought back, or he brought?
He brought back Christianity. Bringing back means he was away, met Christianity, and then brought it back home.
It's the story we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah.
Prometheus.
The
bringing
Prometheus.
Fire from the gods and bringing it back to the
back
people.
Home. So actually, what happened is he went out in search for formal employment, because, of course, the colonial era had arrived. These are, times around 1940s, 50s. So he goes out, I think, to look for formal employment. The money economy is creeping in. And then an able-bodied guy leaves home and then in search for employment. I think he goes somewhere to Nyabondo, which was a mission center. And then, of course, there was this condition that before you get admitted into any formal employment, you must also be taught the Christian ways and all that. They actually attacked more of what we say. It's always the gun followed the Bible, some kind of sort.
Yes.
So he gets this new faith. And is baptized and given an English name.
They call them Christian names.
No, we refused that long time ago. And I think I have an article about that, by the way, in me denouncing the other name called Francis. Yes. So when he comes back, he comes back a Christian.
Yes.
Not a man brought up in the traditional ways. And
I really wonder about this, like what happens to a person, you know?
Yeah.
You are born a certain way, with a certain worldview.
Yeah.
Then you meet these people.
Yeah.
And then you come back home and your worldview has changed. Completely. I really wonder, have you ever wondered, like, how the people who are back home, how they view you when you come back speaking a different language, seeing things differently, and the things that maybe were seen to be a certain way, you are totally opposed to those things.
Yeah.
maybe you speak differently, you fight the things that were normal to everybody. You propose things that people maybe feel are taboo. And you are a totally different person. Did they maybe they thought that you are possessed by some spirit? Could that be what really getting a new religion is like?
Yeah, actually, getting a new faith is one of the most difficult experience in any human's life, and we don't have even to imagine how it happened. I mean, traditional African practice into Christianity. Just think of it about now in this age of explosion of Christian faith, just changing a denomination, a church in itself, and going back home. Maybe with a belief, and you believe maybe you left home a Catholic, and then now you've come back home with Odhiambo Kaumah kind of stuff. So those people look at you,
and actually for us, right now, it's happening the opposite way.
Okay.
So it's like people, we are raised Christian.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's happening in your side, but on my side, there is this whole return to our roots, and there are cults coming back, coming up.
Yeah,
we
shouldn't call them cults.
Cults, sects, all religions start as that way.
No. No. Okay, other religions can start like that, but not a return to it.
Well, when you talk about return to culture, we didn't have. What we had was not religion; it's a culture.
Yeah.
So when culture comes back as a religion with doctrines and certain ways of doing it, which are not even traditional, they are based on, you would call them, it's like Christianity has transformed even how people approach a return to culture.
It's called Christianity of culture.
Okay. So these new faiths of old, new faiths, but faiths which are returning to the old. Yeah. But they are returning to the old, not to the way necessarily it was, but in new ways. Yeah. So they are coming up.
Yeah.
And now the person who was raised a Christian or who was raised a certain way starts speaking a different language.
Yeah.
And that person looks mad to the people, who raised him. He looks different. He looks, and some of these things are not. I would call them sects and cults because, let's say this person now says we need to circumcise all the women in the family. What do you call that? It was there in the culture, but now we grew up away from that culture.
Yeah, it was interrupted.
It is not that it was interrupted. Culture evolves.
Yeah.
And there are some things which are wrong.
Yeah.
There are some things which are right. And even in our old cultures, there were some things which were wrong.
Yeah.
They were not necessarily 100% good.
Yeah.
And even in those days, we used to intermarry.
Yeah.
And the cultures used to change because of the intermarriage.
Yeah.
For instance, I have read somewhere that the Kikuyu were matrilineal originally.
It's true, yeah.
And then they interacted with the Maasai.
Yeah.
And they became patrilineal.
Yeah.
So you see, the culture changed. And this is pre-colonial.
Yeah.
So in the pre-colonial times, culture was always changing.
Yeah.
Because we were always interacting with each other. Things like circumcision.
Yeah.
Some of these things were not originally in some cultures, but through interacting with other cultures, they started doing it.
They started creeping in.
Yeah. Like even naming.
Yeah.
You find there are names you don't have in your culture.
Yeah.
Even when we talk about these age set names, you find names like minor are all over,
Yeah.
So my point is, whatever we had, it wasn't 100% good.
Good, yeah.
And our evolution away from it is not necessarily 100% bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah, okay.
Some of the evolution is good, some of it is bad.
Yeah.
So even when we go back, it's not like, let's go back 100%.
Yeah.
It's, let us figure it out.
Yeah.
Because we have evolved. Like the same thing you were talking about, the dressing,
Yeah.
we have evolved.
Yeah.
So it's not you will now go back to wearing the skins. It's now you have to work with what you have. And also, we can choose Nigeria because, Nigeria is just across from us, yeah?
Yeah.
And if these guys are showing us the way
Yeah.
on how to do things
Yeah.
based on to have that pride in our Africanity, because they even there are even things called Nigerian gates.
Yeah.
Like, this is architecture. So there seems to be a top-down or bottom-up approach in Nigeria when it comes to using their own authentic expression in things, not just in art, but also in even architecture. What's a Nigerian gate? I remember reading an article in the newspaper in 2016 about the craze in Kenya.
Yeah,
everybody is building Nigerian gates.
Because
they have seen these gates in Nigerian movies.
And actually, Bollywood, is it called Bollywood? Actually played a significant role.
From India?
Nollywood. Nollywood, sorry.
Yes.
Nollywood from Nigeria. And you see, I don't know how to mix these two. You see, from a very young age, when actually had access to Nigerian movies, somehow I did not like them. Yet this was the closest I could get back to my village culture. These are things I could relate to. But I didn't like it because I grew up, praising these, the Korean, the English, the Western movies, these stars. And actually I was more inclined towards the Asian films than the American. And then now when I got to interact with the Nollywood videos, which were actually, I don't know, the philosophy was typically African village. You see?
Yes.
Things you could completely relate to. It's an African village. And even the production itself, a film actually, and this is now in editing, a whole episode could carry like 10 minutes of just people in a funeral.
I know
or
what
in
you mean.
Dancing, you see?
Yes.
Something that is unlike that kind of time wastage.
And you did not like it?
And I did not like it.
Do you think it's time wastage now?
I don't think it is not. Later on, I reconnected with it. I'm not saying I watch Nigerian movies now. Actually, I don't.
Yes.
I don't even watch movies now.
Yeah.
But still, when I come home and I find people watching Nigerian movies and not watching the Western action movies and all telenovelas and all that, I feel the atmosphere better because it's closer home. It's closer home. Tomorrow they will be watching Nairobi Half-Life, you see?
Yes.
And tomorrow there will be all these videos that are actually shot somewhere next to River Nyando or on top of Gotromo.
But we have these Royal Media stations.
Ramogi,
Yes, there's Ramogi, there's Inoro, there's, is it Muga?
Yeah, Muga. And,
yes, all of this.
Yeah, it's actually the localization of stations. KBC has it too. Yeah. But I think
and they've even been taking those shows from India.
Yeah.
And translating
them. Okay, it's a good thing, especially in the development of language.
Yeah.
But I have a reservation for it too, actually, at some point, because I now we are here, young families, bringing up families in an urban area, where it's really a hard parenting task to entirely teach your children your
culture,
not even your culture, your language, because it's not the language of transaction. When they step out of your house to go and play with the neighbor's kid, that language is not. It's not prized, right? It does not help him communicate. It does not help him get a ball. It does not help him ask for a toy. You see, so its use is limited. You could say it could not be important inside the house where father speaks it, mother speaks it, or somebody else speaks it. But when they go to school again, that language in itself is not the language of a transaction. It does not help. It does not help the teacher know your name, for example. It does not help you have your book marked. It does not help you go out to release yourself. So these boys are growing up in an area where this local dialect, this local language is actually can be put aside on the shelf and only picked when it is important, or when they go back for holidays in Ushago. Okay, not Ushago. Ushago is also not a good thing. Ushago is just Dala. They go back to Dala. You are colonizing us even with language here in Nairobi.
No.
And it's
Yeah. You say that, but we use a lot of Luo words, like in Sheng.
What was that?
The Luo words.
Where?
They are all over in Sheng.
No.
In Sheng.
Where?
In
Speak
Sheng.
one. It's a struggle.
No, the words that like go uo, ie, so many of them are Luo.
And you can't really you see me, it's a real, if I go
like let's say
yeah.
when I want to tell you kuna kanjia kako hapa, I'll tell you kuna kachuom. That must be a Luo.
It's not chom is not actually
it sounds so Luo.
Yeah, it sounds.
Yes.
But you see,
what's the origin of chom?
Chom actually is more ghetto.
No, I mean like you know the ghetto language comes from somewhere. And
yeah,
also it ghetto language comes from somewhere, and we know how we say that each ghetto has its own language, based on the people who are there.
The people who are
so
there.
there are Sheng words which sound very Kikuyu because the people
most
Sheng words. And then there are Sheng words which sound low because even they will Luonize.
That's true.
That's what I mean.
That's true. But you if even in that development itself, in that language culture itself, the Gikuyu language is predominant.
Well,
because I was coming here
yes.
And sikupanda pikipiki ama apiko, nilipanda ndudhi.
You see now that's because of the proximity to Nairobi.
Sure.
It's proximity
but
to Nairobi.
The point I was trying to put across is on this localization of stations, that I was looking at it that Ramogi has had quite a great influence. It's helping us actually, just like Musi would do, or Moga or Inoro and all that would do. With the urban population in terms of trying to remind the upcoming generation of their language and culture, language of culture, or let me say. So Ramogi does that, but now I think when it comes to rights and all, there are a lot of it when it comes to the commercial bits of it. And that's why they would rather go for translated Indian movies that actually which are cheaper. And remember what it does, it's only the language, and language is sound. The visuals are much more impactful. I mean the setting of all this story, the color of these persons. See, these people are going to, my son for example is going to grow up believing that Indians actually can speak Luo. And Indians are living in this world of Bollywood world where people can fly.
Well, for me, I tend to look at it differently.
Okay.
I look at it from the point of view of that we are colonizing their productions.
I know how now.
Yeah, exactly.
How are we colonizing their
productions? We are colonizing their productions because the Bible you read, let's say the Bible was written in Greek, the New Testament, and the Old Testament is written in Hebrew, So the Hebrew, we don't read Hebrew Bible, we read English, right?
Or even we have
So for us to become Christians, we had to read the English Bible, Then of course later from the English Bible, we have all these translations, Kiswahili and so forth. But you see the point, the language with which you are consuming this foreign culture, because the foreign religion, Christianity is a foreign religion, but we are consuming it in a foreign language. The white people will consume it in their language. Right? Which is the importance of translation, In Kenya, like in Africa, like we really got into English.
Yeah.
Because we are colonized by the British.
Yeah.
And also the missionary is the teacher.
Yeah.
And the teacher is the missionary.
Yeah.
And they are teaching you English.
English. Yeah.
And the Bible is in English.
Yeah.
So don't you think we start to understand God in an English sort of way?
It's true.
Compared to when you go to your village and people read the Bible in your language.
Yeah.
There's a way they will talk about God, and for me it sounds, it's like there is a sort of syncretism.
Yeah.
And the God they are speaking of is Christian, but also it's the traditional God.
Who is colonizing who in this case?
So we are colonizing
they are
the
colonizing
foreign.
us.
They are no, listen. When we use English, they are colonizing us.
Yeah.
But when we use our language, we are colonizing their culture. You feel me? Yes. So when your son is watching the Wahindi, your son knows that these are Wahindi. Your son can see the color of the skin is not the same. Your son will grow up at some point to know Indians speak Indian. And of course, there is your role as a parent to tell them, this is translation and this is how it works. But the thing is, the fact that he can hear them in his language makes him feel that there is something strong in his language.
That other people are also speaking.
No, not that the other people are speaking. Yeah. His language is fit to take productions from other places and indigenize them.
Okay.
Julius Nyerere, when he wanted to prove that Kiswahili is strong enough, sufficient, he translated Julius Caesar by Shakespeare.
Yeah.
It is called Julius Caesari.
Yeah.
It's a play by Julius Nyerere, also Julius. So Kiswahili becomes richer. Yeah. And how has Kiswahili now spoken by 200 million people around the world? How has Kiswahili become stronger? Kiswahili comes from the coast.
Yeah.
Then from the coast, it comes into the mainland. I have a book I've been reading, Professor Ali Mazrui, about Swahili and the state, something like that, about statehood and Kiswahili. So he talks about how Kiswahili spread, and it's what you were talking about earlier, transaction.
Yeah.
So Kiswahili was spreading because of trade.
Yeah.
But then the white people come in, the colonizers, and it starts spreading also because of colonization.
Yeah.
So when they needed a language for the military, the local military, because they wanted a language which they can speak.
Yeah.
Because you see like the British have the King's African Rifles, and we have like 40 different maybe even 100 different languages, because some tribes which are called tribes today speak more than one language, because they are not really tribes. Like the Luya speak multiple, the Kalenjin speak multiple languages.
Is actually a collection,
Exactly. So maybe we have in truth maybe 80 languages. I don't know. So all these different languages, they are recruiting. You can't have like let's say Kikuyu or Luo become the language of these guys, and then you don't want them to speak English, because then it places them at a similar level with the British officers. So they gave them Kiswahili. So Kiswahili unites the military, and then Kiswahili is used by the military in Kenya. It's used by the military in Uganda, and then of course later when the British get Tanzania, after World War I, they also the same thing. So you find that the military at that time in the African militants or military in our region in East Africa, they were all speaking Kiswahili. And also in Congo, Kiswahili is also getting a space. So you start getting Kiswahili as a language of education in school to teach them, as a language of administration at some level, as a language of what do you call it? The jeshi, the military. You see, I met a Ugandan, and they were telling me that they have an uneasy relationship with Kiswahili. Because Kiswahili is the language that Idi Amin and his soldiers were speaking. And then when the guys who came to overthrow Idi Amin were soldiers from Tanzania, and these soldiers were also brutal to people in the streets, also speaking Kiswahili. So Kiswahili in Uganda has
a bit hated.
Yeah. But you get my point.
Yeah.
This language Kiswahili, it's spreading like this. It's taking over.
It's becoming populated.
It's becoming richer.
Yeah.
The more it's spoken.
Yeah.
And it is also getting translated.
Yeah.
It's translating things from around the world.
Yeah.
What does that do? It makes it richer.
Yeah.
English.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried and seen how English used to look before the 16th century?
Yeah,
you go
actually,
back.
it borrows a lot from Greek. And
it was very difficult to read when it was just Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah.
And then it comes in with the French. It starts becoming modern. And then as the British colonize more places around the world, they take words from all over. They take words from all over. So now today English is the richest language.
It's rich. Actually, they populated it, and it was actually a very deliberate process. And I remember when I had a conversation with Andrea about language, and I was telling him that the world was not speaking. I mean, the world was not predominantly speaking English.
Yes.
Let me say 2 centuries ago. But over time, the English intentionally decided to populate their language and make it transactionable. It's important in transactions. So it became very a language of utility. You can actually utilize it and to survive wherever you go to. And that is how they Latinize. I mean, they English has many Latin words, many Greek words, into, I mean, even the words that they did not have in English, they actually Latinized. Now, my greatest concern is actually when, and you see, I don't know whether you ever stop to think, and I think Google talks about it. Your primary thoughts, are they in your native language, or they're in English, and then now you get a translation? I find that a lot, especially when watching Ramogi. I'm a keen fan of this station because of the kind of cultural renewal it's bringing, and I look at it also from a critic's point of view, and I also realize that because of now the royal media. Remember, these people have one pool of journalists under the royal media, Inoro and all that. They are all royal media employees.
Yes.
And when they send cameramen or journalists to go and pick stories from various issues, from various areas, these people pick it as a whole. And then, of course, Citizen being the mother station, first receives these articles, and mostly they'll produce them in either Kiswahili or English. And in most cases, you realize that feeder stations like now Ramogi would pick this news article from Citizen and then translate it to Luo. When they translate it to Luo, it loses some taste. Like it's, and I can always point out the very news items that are picked deep in Homa Bay, or that are picked deep in Nyeri, for your case, if you watch Inoro TV, that are reported by local journalists, the sense, the taste of the Gikuyu language or the Luo language, when this thing is being reported, is completely different from an article that has been produced in studio, picked on one computer, translated, voiced in a room, and then now produced as a news article. Like even the flow in itself, the language in itself, the structure in itself does not connect. And sometimes I see that. So this makes me think that if we are able to, think in our first language, and then now get it translated, because the videos, these films that my child, for example, watches from Nollywood, is it Nollywood now? Bollywood, for example, from Bollywood. The original thought, the translators, those people are voicing it, are not voicing it in original thought. They're not imagining this old film in my village and presenting it in that kind of language setup. They're actually translating it, the script, into this language. You see? So even the structure of the sentence is English. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So to me, that is not very.
I've actually seen that.
Yeah, I don't know whether I've seen that in.
Even with the ones in Kikuyu.
Yeah.
When I watch those shows.
Yeah.
There's a strange way they speak the language.
Yeah, because it
feels awkward.
Awkward completely.
It's not how you speak it in the street. Yes.
Yeah.
There's an awkwardness there.
Like if we were to gather here and speak in
But I think it's just bad translation.
You think?
You should be able to translate something, like when you read the Bible.
Yeah.
You know, I know your Bible.
Yeah.
It's translated.
Yeah.
You wouldn't say this wasn't written in my language originally.
Yeah.
Because I think a good translator goes beyond translating words and translates the meaning. Semantic translation.
Semantic translation.
So I think that's what they do. They aren't really deep translators.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They translate the words, but maybe they don't go to the philosophy under the words.
Yeah. And now it goes a long way to affect even the thought process of a child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's what I'm telling you, it would have been the other way around. Okay, let the videos or the films be Bollywood or Niger or something or English. Or now look at what DJ Afro does. It's not translation. It's contextualizing what is happening in the movie. You see the pictures, but it brings them home. And it talks of
DJ Afro is doing comedy, you know.
I know it's comedy, but
DJ Afro is doing the same thing I was saying, in the sense that he is colonizing those Western things.
Yeah. Okay. Now DJ Afro now
he's colonizing it
because he's not translate. If you're watching, if you're to watch,
but I think translation. What I was saying is that it's enriching the language. The context of your language.
The context.
Because it's like you think to yourself, this language can only tell stories that exist in lower land.
Yeah.
It's like this language can tell stories that happen
also
around the world.
Yeah, so I think that's a positive
and
of
you
it.
do want to not isolate your people in one cocoon.
Yeah.
You do want your people to be global minded.
Yeah.
You do want your people to be global citizens.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be like the only time you are Luo is when you go back to the village. You want it to be I'm a Luo even if I'm in India. I am a Luo even if I'm in Dubai. So I can't colonize the context there with my language, which is what white people do when they come to Kenya. It's like you watch those movies. They are in Kenya, but you don't feel the Kenyanness. It's they talk about Africa, but Africa in those movies, it's a place white people go to forget themselves.
Yeah.
It's a place white people go to experience some exotic things,
landscapes without.
But
people.
the mindset is still Western. So we should be able to do the same thing. It's an Indian show, but the mindset is still low.
It's still low. Oh,
and that's what I mean.
No, I think from that perspective.
Yes, I think I would say you are being conservative.
Yeah.
But we are in the 21st century, and you want your son to broaden his mind and know that there's more to the world than his area.
Yeah.
And his language is not a lesser one.
Yeah.
Because all these other, like those people from those countries, they're going to take a movie from here and translate it.
Yeah.
And nobody in those countries will say, "Oh, what are you doing to our Indian language by showing movies from Africa?" No.
Yeah.
They will feel that this is good because they want their people to get the movies, not in a foreign language. Because if your son was watching, you see, like, let me give you an example.
Yeah.
These movies were there. These Indian movies, they've always been there.
Yeah.
And before, we used to watch them on KTN, on Citizen. Even these telenovelas, they are there, right?
Yeah.
We watch them in English.
Yeah, and they're not in English, actually.
We watch them in English, right? So it's the English language benefiting as we are watching it in English.
Yeah.
So I feel that this Royal Media, what it's doing, it's important because
is it the English which is benefiting?
It is English which is benefiting because it is colonizing us. We are watching it. No. We are learning how to think in English. We are watching more English content.
Exactly.
But if I am watching Luo content, I am learning more and more to be in my mind as a Luo, to think in Luo. Because the content is in Luo. If most of the content I'm watching is in Luo.
If this content was translated in Luo.
Yes.
And then it is being watched in East Asia.
Yes.
in that language.
Yes.
And those people getting to see this thing in a different language, then you mean that is actually a plus to the Luo language or the Gikuyu language.
It is a plus.
But if the Indian has produced a movie
Yes.
that actually, apart from the language, it's built around the environment, built about their cultures, built about their religion, and you watch those movies, there'll be all these things about gods, and you see the Indian religious culture and their foods and all that. And now this thing is not being watched in India, it's being watched in somewhere in Kisumu.
Yes.
You see, it's reaching new audience through their language.
Yes.
That's not my advantage.
Okay, let me ask you.
Yeah.
What language do you write in?
I write in 3 languages.
Which language do you write your primary works in that you have published?
Oh, in English.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are a writer, yes?
Yes.
You are a philosopher, you are a thinker,
Yeah.
you're a poet.
Yeah.
So every time you create a work of art,
Yeah.
as a work of art, linguistic art,
Yeah.
you are enriching the language in which you write.
Yeah.
True,
It's true.
true, not true.
It's true.
Which language is benefiting from your writing?
It's actually the English language. But now
Yes.
there's another thing to it. Something that I'm very intentional about it. And I think that is my voice.
Yes.
You know, my sentence structures, and I'm so intentional about that.
I've seen that actually.
Yeah, are never thought from English. English gives me
Yes.
the audience.
Yes.
Yeah.
But still,
yeah.
still, your sentence structure is Luo.
Yeah.
But when you bring the sentence structure into English,
Yeah.
English expands and becomes more Luo,
Which is right.
which is
Yeah.
to the benefit of
the
English,
Yeah, which
not
is,
of
yeah,
Luo.
It's true. No, but
So the translating language
yeah.
is the one which benefits
Yeah.
from cultural outreach. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
The
but
translating
the
language.
translating language,
The language used
benefits
when
that language has crossed borders, not when it is being consumed by the very people who have translated it.
Well, let me give you another example, yeah?
Yeah.
So you are writing in English.
Yeah.
Let's say you wrote in Luo.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You write in Luo,
Yeah.
and you want to write about something that is happening in India,
Yeah.
but you write in Luo.
Yeah.
Yeah? Don't you think it's going to benefit the Luo language to have Indian history written in Luo? Because you are going to sort of take a context that is far from home and colonize it linguistically.
Let me kill this debate. This is what happens.
Yes.
If I write an article in Luo,
Yes.
and then this is just in jest, I mobilize the Kenyan troop
Yes.
to go and occupy a village in India and make sure they're able to read Luo. Yeah, then you see now the number of Luo speakers in the whole world or in the population of the world has increased, and Luo has gained. So the fact that English is gaining here because the Englishman colonized me and made his language useful to me.
Yes.
Yeah, so if actually it written in English and then stayed with it in England, and then I did not really have to learn his language, he only needed to translate his content and give it to me in my language, I would not be an English speaker. Yeah, I would still be a Luo speaker consuming English content. So I would only enrich myself in the English culture, but using my own linguistic medium, which is my own Luo language.
Okay.
Yeah. So until my language, until this now, the opposite side, until a child in India is able to rewatch this movie in the Luo language and understand, because they have been colonized and schooled to understand Luo, I gain nothing.
So let's leave the audience to decide.
Okay.
Let them tell us on the context, on the comments, what they think about this.
Yeah, sure.
Because I think we can go on and on.
No, yeah.
Do watch out for part 2, which will be published soon.